أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Dear friends, welcome to Idea Foundation Forum. In today's lecture 239, we will discuss challenges to Big Bang theory of universe creation. It is seventh issue of the Quran and modern sciences related to astrophysics. Accidental creation of the first cell of life in the context of biology and origin of the universe with a Big Bang or singularity without the first cause in the context of astrophysics both defy science's basic principle of cause and effect. Since the theory of evolution denies divinely intervention in the origination of life, as it maintains that the first cell originated accidentally from inanimate matter without any design or plan. It was accident. This notion is not only inconsistent with science's fundamental principle of cause and effect, but it also denies the most irrefutable rules of biology, besides lacking support of historic evidence. Similar discrepancies are found in the theory of Big Bang or singularity. Missing of the first cause is one of them. Over the centuries, science has been giving several theories on the creation of the universe and the life. Most of them proved to be short-lived and were replaced with new ones due to their frivolous assumptions, as pointed out in lecture 175. Several of them had been even accredited for Nobel Prizes, believing them the final verdict. Thus, like several previous notions on the creation of the universe, the Big Bang cosmology too may not hold its credibility for long due to emerging challenges based on its weak assumptions. Science, unfortunately, has kept its vision captive to observation and intellect only, that constrained it to depend on frivolous assumptions at some critical junctures of its history. Two of them are the assumption of the coincidental creation of the first cell of life and missing of the first cause in the theory of Big Bang cosmology. Because of such limitations, science is yet struggling for life in the incubator of mysterious universe. Incubator of mysterious universe. Yoshide Kusan, director of the Tokyo Observatory, Japan, describes this dilemma of science in the words, listen, I am very much impressed by finding true astronomical facts in the Quran. Modern astronomers have been studying very small pieces of the universe because by using telescopes we can see only very few parts of the sky without thinking about the whole universe. So by reading the Quran, I think I can find my future way for investigation of the universe. In fact, science stuck up with materialistic mindset roaming within the bounds of observation and intellect could discover by now just a very small fraction of the whole universe. Of this little observable universe, only 4% comprises of billions of galaxies and trillions of stars, while the remaining 96% comprises of dark energy and dark matter. It tells how little of the universe is known while all the rest is yet unknown, unseen to the man, and will remain so in view of its growing nature of the universe. It tells insignificance of human knowledge about the universe. Now, depending on limited faculty of observation, should the man claim a credible authority of his findings in the immeasurable realm of the universe? It's a question. Even within the meager fraction of 4% of observable universe, there is not much known in its true sense. For example, note the example. Earth is only one of the tiniest cosmic bodies among the billions of galaxies and trillions of stars contained in the small cosmic fraction of observable universe. The man, despite residing on the earth, resident of the earth, has access over the earth even less than 1%. Just imagine. Earth itself is the tiniest part of the universe and man knows less than 1% of the earth. Then how he can give a final verdict on the creation or operations of the universe, and how he can refute the divinity working behind the material outfit of the universe or life on the basis of his inert biases, rigid approach, rigid mindset, and so little knowledge that he has. So, dear friends, the Big Bang theory claims that the universe emerged from something of infinitesimal size, insignificant size, about nothingness, having infinite density and temperature within the minutest fraction of a second. You may call it instant. Cosmologists are unsure of what existed before this moment and how it instantly exploded to become a colossal universe. Thus, it leaves Big Bang theory infected with frivolous assumptions of the missing first cause, an evidently unscientific approach, totally unscientific approach. Evolution of Big Bang cosmology has a long history. Till the dawn of 20th century, science remained stuck up with the notion of static universe. It was in 1922 that Alexander Friedman, the Russian scholar, gave the first clue of expanding universe. Contemporarily, Vasto M. Slipher of Lowell Observatory collected the first evidence that galaxies are actually moving apart. Then, in 1929, Edwin Hubble showed that the rate a galaxy is moving away from the Earth is roughly proportional to its distance from the Earth. To Hubble, expansion of the universe has little influence on the internal distancing of galaxies or their clusters, which are bound by gravity, which means space is simply opening up between them. Their internal distance is the same, while the space is expanding. To him, a galaxy emits or absorbs some wavelengths of light more strongly than others. If the galaxy is moving away from the Earth, these emission and absorption features are shifted to longer wavelengths. When the recession velocity increases, these wavelengths become more red. This phenomenon was named the redshift. Hubble's measurements indicated that the redshift of a distant galaxy is greater than that of one closer to the Earth. This relation, now known as Hubbles Law, helped extrapolate mathematically expansion of the universe forward in time, basing on the declining rate of density and temperature. Upon discovering the expansion, Lemaitre was the first who in 1927 extrapolated backward in the history, basing on the increasing rate of density and temperature, and claimed to reach back a point which he called the primal atom or primordial state, initial state from where everything around us emerged. Big Bang. These findings began with the observations of cosmic microwave background containing the afterglow of light and radiation left over from the Big Bang. These traces pervading the universe could firstly be observed by microwave detectors, which helped scientists to net together the story of the origin of the universe, now known as Big Bang. Data collected from such backward extrapolation helped building the estimates of the time lapsed since the Big Bang that led to determine the age of the universe at 13.8 billion years. Hubble also found that galaxies were uniformly distributed on all sides. So, dear friends, as the universe emerged from something of infinitesimal size, infinite density, and temperature called singularity or the Big Bang, Stephen Hawking, a known astrophysicist, predicted that such infinite density, which occurred at the time of Big Bang, it may be a probable cause of black hole or anticipated Big Crunch, ultimate end of the universe, culminating at singularity. The origin and the end having the same reason of singularity. Against this pessimistic view, science tells us a pessimistic view. Qur'anic view is optimistic, giving hope that black hole may be a cause of recreation of a new universe. This potential of a black hole is proven by the emergence of solar system from a giant rotating cloud of gas and dust left behind by a collapsing bigger star known as the solar nebula. Recently, Haling Deng, a cosmologist at Arizona State University advocating multiverse notion, has given a prospective view of the black hole. To him, a dying star, collapsing star in our universe may pass through the process of quantum tunneling, causing creation of a new universe elsewhere, leaving behind a vacuum in our universe in the shape of a black hole. Theories of general relativity Theories of general relativity and quantum mechanics have been applied for defining birth, configuration, and collapse of various constituents of the universe from the atom to the star during the last few decades. However, current research does not find the said two theories compatible on the issues of collapse of stars and collapse of atoms or protons. Contrary to the possibility of collapse of a star falling victim to infinite density, such collapse is hardly conceivable in case of a proton or atom as assumed under Pauli's exclusion principle discovered by Wolfgang Pauli in 1925, as we discussed in lecture 159 in detail. Please revisit the lecture 159. Criticizing incompatibility of the two theories due to exclusion principle, Hawking concludes in his book A Brief History of Time that had the world been created without exclusion principle, quarks would neither have ability to form separate protons and neutrons, nor would they, together with electrons, have been able to form separate atoms, nor the universe has existed. So the theory is based on frivolous assumptions. So, dear friends, recently, several emerging challenges have been noticed on the credibility of the assumptions and fundamentals of the Big Bang and Hubbles Law, on which notions of expansionary universe and backward extrapolation of radiation determining the singularity, the Big Bang, are based. In view of time constraints, we may discuss a few of such challenges now. Roland D., a researcher at Canadian Association of Physicists, writes in his paper, "The Big Bang never happened." This is the title of the paper. The Big Bang never happened. He writes that Big Bang idea has become firmly entrenched because of a fundamental scientific error compounded by faulty assumptions, presumptive reasoning, and miscalculations. When these oversights are corrected, we are left with zero evidence supporting any of the suppositions that A, the universe began from a singularity, B, galaxies are receding from each other, and C, we are on a collision course with Andromeda, the neighboring galaxy of our galaxy. Every variation of Big Bang theory suggests that somehow the universe spontaneously created itself from nothing. This notion defies both physics and logic, the science of thinking and reasoning. Nothing cannot be the cause of something. Ramon Garza Wilmot, Autonomous University of Nuevo Leon, Mexico, in his paper Absurds and Fallacies of the Big Bang, views that the theory of the current expanding universe is wrong. To him, it is absurd to say space stretches and therefore does not violate relativity. To him, if cosmological space stretches or shrinks, it would be because of what space contains. He means galaxies and stars. He rejects the basic premise of the Hubbles Law and its validity in explaining the expanding nature of the universe and its creation as Big Bang or singularity. Next is Michael Finkel in National Geographic reported an alternative story for the creation of the universe under the title, Are We Living in a Black Hole? It is the title. Are we living in a black hole? Our universe may reside within a vast black hole. It is his finding. Our universe may be residing within a vast black hole, referring to Dr. Nikodem Pawlowski, a physicist at University of New Haven. It was reported that we may have a mother universe that is one of many universes, and black holes may be the gateways between them. It gives the notion of multiverse. Black holes are commonly thought to be death traps with gravity that works like a high-powered vacuum from which nothing, including light, can escape. They are believed to be at the center of every galaxy, including our Milky Way. Once a black hole reaches the limit of its singularity with infinite temperature and density, it can no longer withstand the weight of billions of stars, and spinning at near light speed, it leads to a Big Bang or Big Crunch. Dr. Pawlowski prefers to call it the Big Bounce. Some physicists theorize it in another way, that a moment before the Big Bang, all the mass and energy of the nascent universe was compacted into an incredibly hot, dense speck dot, may be called the seed of a new universe. This seed, SEED, this seed is thought to have been almost unimaginably tiny, possibly trillions of times smaller than any particle. Just imagine. Yet potent to spark production of other particles. According to Pawlowski, this seed of our universe was in fact forced in the ultimate kiln inside a black hole. So imagine the importance shown by these philosophers about the black hole against the traditionalists. Charles William Johnson, in his paper, The Big Bang Theory Debunked by Its Own Reasoning, he says, The Big Bang Theory Debunked by Its Own Reasoning. This is the title. He points out fallacies of Big Bang, especially with reference to the standard cosmological model. Please have a look on the screen. Take some time. So, timeline of the model shows an initial explosion of a singularity showing a multi-directional on all sides outward explosion. Showing a multi-directional outward explosion. A separation between the initial singularity and the conic shape, that is initiated coming out of the Big Bang, a gradual unidirectional expansion of space-time along the curved lines, creating the cone and volumetric shapes of galaxies within the cone. Johnson has pointed out some discrepancies in this journey of creation and expansion. Firstly, the Big Bang is multidirectional initially on all sides. It was just like explosion of multidirectional. The Big Bang is multidirectional initially, but once this multidirectional explosion sets off, existence of the universe gets to one main direction. One main direction. How can a multidirectional explosion create a unidirectional expansion in space-time? Very important question. You know, it exploded multidirectional, but then it take only unilateral direction. So, very valid question. Where did all of remaining energy from earlier event marked on the diagram, event 1, go to? If only part of initial Big Bang produced unidirectional conical shaped universe. So, thus it needs to be answered by the promoters of Big Bang theory whether the space-time or motion coordinates presented in the diagrams are possible according to what we know about matter energy as forms of space-time. Very important question. The challenge on the foundation of the theory. Secondly, the Big Bang theory does not account for the appearance or creation of matter in the cosmos. It would presuppose the idea that whatever matter energy was created at the moment of the Big Bang is what exists now and forever. Its theoretical limitation is restrictive interpretation of the transformation of matter energy where it apparently appears to be created or recreated in some parts of the universe. Thirdly, William Johnson questions. The third question, if we on the earth can see light from the oldest galaxies, whose light has taken 13.7 billion years to reach us, then at what distance are we from the Big Bang? We would have to be at the distance even further away from the Big Bang, which would make the Big Bang at least double the age commonly cited. How did Earth arrive at a place where we can look back at the light coming from the oldest galaxies of the universe? Very valid question. Challenging question. The Earth would necessarily, according to that stated logic, have to be in a place way ahead of the galaxies traveling away from the singularity of the Big Bang. So, dear friends, as we saw, authenticity of the Big Bang theory has been questioned by its critics due to its flimsy assumptions. It reflects stubbornness of science mostly based on lack of faith, limitations of knowledge, and historic prejudices deepened by materialist mindset and socio-cultural rigidities. Such outlook of science is well described in Ayat 36 of Surah Yunus in the words, listen. وَمَا يَتَّبِعُ أَكْثَرُهُمْ إِلَّا ظَنًّا إِنَّ الظَّنَّ لَا يُغْنِي مِنَ الْحَقِّ شَيْئًا إِنَّ اللَّهَ عَلِيمٌ بِمَا يَفْعَلُونَ. Let me share the translation. And most of them follow not except assumptions. It means they follow assumptions. Indeed, assumption avails not against the truth at all. Indeed, Allah is knowing of what they do. So, dear friends, with this we conclude our discussion under lecture number 239. Please do subscribe Idea Foundation YouTube channel to watch videos of previous lectures and join us for the noble cause. Thank you friends for participation. Allah Hafiz.